What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Final Fantasy Brave Exodus video, and we're here at Taivas, and he's the only one we're reviewing today, so let's make it pretty quick. I'm gonna get you guys in and get you guys out. So it's Destiny did get buffed on the global version, so obviously they knew their mistake, and they allowed it to be available on turn 1 right away. So I guess they won't have that story buff, or I doubt it'll be upgraded again. That'd be crazy because it's already pretty good. It gets a 30% attack buff, 20%, 250% low burst damage buff, and also 20 crystals to caster. So pretty good. Obviously, this buff will be overwritten by pretty much everyone that's a buffer in this day and age. So it's still good, though. It's still good. So Taivas will make use of the crown. He needs the crown. Unfortunately, for anyone else who wants it, he needs it because he is very hard to gear. We'll be talking about very shortly here. So 20% TDH and 500% chain cap. That's why you like the crown. 150% beast and 200% machine killer. That's pretty good, but we don't really fight machines too often. So yeah. And here's the hard part: 150% low burst damage. Oh, that's pretty good. Well, we'll talk about that. He has a lot of stat gains, so he's gonna cap pretty quickly and attack pretty quickly. And I don't really ever mention this, but 50% fire amp was pretty significant on the JP version back then. Of course, on the global version, we've had several 50% and even a 60% fire amp, so it's not as special, but it's still good. It's still good. And he gets an auto cast at the beginning of the battle of 30% fire amp, 20% attack, and some killers. That's pretty good. Allows him to get some turn 1 OGKs with that, which is that, of course, with some killers and stuff. So his LB is a lot weaker than the SLB, which is a 25% great sword and parry for all enemies, and a 80% break, defense break, which will most likely be overridden, and 130% fire imperial, and also 350 times fire damage to all enemies. This is one of the rarest cases that there's an AoE fire finisher, and I know most people don't like AoE, but this guy is definitely the king of AoE finishers, and it is useful sometimes. So with that being said, there are some problems that they did not fix. Giving him the 500 flat attack at EX2 doesn't mean anything because you need him at EX3 anyways. So the change for that is really irrelevant, because if you really want to use Taivas, you need him to be at EX3 for the maximum damage output. You can only equip great swords, but he has great sword imperial anyways, so whatever. You can equip crowns. You can, not can't, can. It sounded like I said can't. You will be using the crown on him because giving him Lightning's S tier makes it way harder to gear him. Like I mentioned, he had only 150% low burst damage. And if you're fighting anything that's not beast or machine, it's kind of like Sephiroth. You gotta go out of your way, and he's very hard to gear. And like it's tough. It's a puzzle piece. Sometimes it takes me like 30 minutes or longer to figure out a way of building him properly, and sometimes even longer than that, because it's just like moving things around. It requires a lot of gear, so to say. So is he worth it in the end? Yes, asterisk. If you are someone who only wants his S tier, just use tickets. If you've been looking forward to him for months because I've been teasing you because how good he is, I guess you could go for it, or you could wait a week and see what happens. It's always the best plan just to wait a week, see what goes on, because this band's not going away next week or anything. So it's just best to wait. Don't be the person who pulls on the first day, kind of a thing. If you're not sure, then don't pull on the first day. Just wait. And I think most people know that by now, but back then people didn't really know to do that. So that's why I like to mention it. Score wise, Clash of Wills probably will be really great. Dark Visions will be great. Definitely 2 thumbs up for Dark Visions, of course. And Clash of Wills Oh, here's one I wanted to mention. This is one bad part about Clash of Wills for him, is because if there is a boss that you, just like the last one, pretty much, if you need to equip certain elemental resistances, he's going to struggle in that regard heavily. If you need him to have any sort of elemental resistances other than like a little tiny bit here and there, maybe like from espers or maybe like, you know, 20% here and there, he's going to struggle with that because he really needs 3% little burst damage. He needs to equip killers and all that stuff. So it's very troubling. I think I actually think unless there's a way to make it so he doesn't take any damage at all, it'd be very hard to gear for him in Clash of Wills. Just saying. After using him for months, I think I can say that with certainty, that it'll be hard to gear him for elemental resistances or anything. He's allergic to resistances, basically, is what it comes down to. So Clash of Wills will be good if you don't have to gear him for any particular resistances in need. Clash of Wills or Dark Vision is very good, of course. You don't really need to worry about too much about all that stuff. And just in general, really good unit. So I'm gonna go ahead and give him an 8 out of 10. And keep in mind, my scores have changed. I'm gonna keep saying this for a little bit longer until people get it. But 8 out of 10 is a lot stronger than it used to be. So quite good. Thank you guys very much for watching. Appreciate you, and I hope to see you in the very next video. Good luck if you're playing for Taivas or just saving in the future. Peace.